Welcome back, everyone, to Let's Play Rule the Waves as the United States Navy, episode number 47, perhaps. I've actually lost track. But it's not too surprising. We've had 47 episodes or so. So suddenly, now I think it's 47 or maybe 48. Things are going well in this war. We're invading the last remaining German colony in Southeast Asia. They started with 2 there, I think. And very soon, if not this episode, definitely the next one, at some point we're going to make this big foray, this big trip, this big excursion into Northern Europe. The one reservation I have about that is we don't have an ally in Northern Europe, so unfortunately that means that we're not going to have an easy time. We're not going to have an easy time at all. With any ships that take damage. We don't have a friendly dock there. Like, remember, against the British, we had this amazing capability to use the German docks, but that's definitely not the case in this war, at least. We don't have the French or the German, so obviously not the Germans, we don't have the French, the British, or the Russians as allies. Any one of those 3, and we would be able to park our ships in Northern Europe without worrying about attrition or supplies, but yeah, as I said, that's not the case. So, and we did a real, I'm just looking now, wow, we did a real number on the British. Even though they still have 3 colonies on the American East Coast and it's in the Caribbean, that's definitely a lot less than what they started with. I mean, we're practically the sole owner of Southeast Asia at this point, if you think about it. We own part of China, all of Vietnam and Cambodia, southern tip, Singapore, this area, that's not ours. And then once we take this last island, we'll own every island except for Taiwan. So that's a nice little impressive addition to the what you would probably just call now the American Empire. Oh, I do want to change the armored cruiser I was designing as well. Ooh, 3-3, that's a terrible ratio. 10-4. More like it, even though that itself is also not that great. The St. Lawrence intercepts a German raider in the Caribbean. Well, we'll fight this one. It's either fight or auto-resolve, and I definitely trust my own command abilities more than the AI's. Especially the auto-resolve thing. It's a little funky. I don't know exactly how it works. I started making my own auto-resolver. This was a discussion for a while. Let's get closer. Let's go for it. So Königsberg versus St. Lawrence, which is what? Okay, so let's look. 4 6-inch guns, very light armor, very fast speed versus... Oh, this is a Galveston. Well, the Galveston does have this slightly over-armored turret, which, I mean, is an advantage once it's actually built, but it's more expensive to actually build. So very low armor on their part. Our goal is just to try to hit her as many times as we can. Hopefully get, that's nice, a few hits, enough hits, I should say, to slow her down. Alright, yeah, I think we're actually already doing that. So our speed is at 20, our speed is 26, which is the maximum we're now capable of. Originally a maximum of 27, but we already lost a knot to damage. Okay. Keep trying to angle towards her. We're getting 4 guns going right now. 1, 2, 3, 4. So the rear center line is not enough. Yeah, so the side turrets, they do have the increased arc, which is one good thing about them. A lot of her hits are not even penetrating. I mean, we do have significantly greater armor than she does, and she's definitely slowing down. Yeah, heavy damage. So let's go ahead and play the game where we don't get hit by torpedoes, which by that I mean, yeah, there it is. We follow her stern. So one less German ship to deal with. Let's take a look at the almanac, because somebody was asking a little bit about that. There was also several concerns about the tensions. There's really nothing more I can do about it. I took intel off of Japan, even though they weren't a concern anyway. There's nothing more I can do about the Italian thing. I mean, I could put submarine policy on fleet support. That's about the only way I could alleviate those possible events which cause international outrage when you sink the neutral liners, but not that the Italians really have much we would be afraid of. They have exactly one main capital ship and 3 armored cruisers. Well, heavy cruisers maybe at this point? I don't know what we'll call them. Okay, and then, yeah. Well, let's look at the German ships real fast. What do we have left to deal with? Well, you'd have to say most of their ships are pretty modern. Maybe we can look at the creme de la creme. 29 knot. This is, my God, 29 knots is not. I would not call this a dreadnought. I would definitely call this a battlecruiser or a modern battleship. This is probably more like a modern battleship than anything. Very large arm. I mean, this is. Remember that although 13 inches of belt is just constantly increasing throughout the game, like you start off with, well, like 12, and then eventually you get. I mean, it's in theory at least the armor you're putting on the ship goes up and up, the amount of armor. But this is an effective amount, so the 12 inches in the beginning of the game is same as 12 inches later in the game, and the abstraction there is that the improved armor just allows you to get some kind of effective 13 inches of armor for much less weight. That's why it's weight savings reductions for all these armor tech boosts. When in theory, what you would do is probably just build the same thickness of armor, so maybe the same weight, maybe even some armor techniques are heavier or lighter, but you would get much better results out of the same thickness. So this will actually be changed in rule waves too. So it's more like, well, it's the actual system. It'll be scaling this. The game's armor value will be hidden slightly. It'll be related to what armor technology you're using on your ship, and then so we won't see this number. We'll see the actual physical, realistic armor. And the game will be abstracting what that means for the game mechanics. Whereas right now it's done the opposite. We have to guess what the actual thickness of the armor would be, and that's the game mechanic one we're looking at. I like the game mechanic version better, but I definitely see the point why you'd want to provide people with the real armor value. So 14 inches, my goodness. 27 knots is still blazingly fast. I mean, it's just funny. Their battle cruisers are slower than their dreadnoughts. In fact, they don't have a battle cruiser which is as fast as their fastest dreadnought. So I don't know what that really means. Also, we did sink the Von Spee. I'll never know. I'll never get it right. Oh, well, yes, we have a few of these ships which they're still in fair condition. Actually, we have a whole bunch in fair. Let's go ahead and add these to the slew of anti-submarine warfare patrols. A few more still working up. Wait, it's kind of weird. Some of them are working up, some of them are not. Well, if they aren't working up, let's just put them to work. Okay, let me take a drink. And is that up for this turn? Oh, we can go to the armored cruiser. Okay, so this is the New York. Not going to be the name of it, but here it is. I really did like it. However, I think we're going to go with 9-inch guns instead. 20.4 versus 19 flat. So the advice, I mean, the reason why I was even building this thing was to build it more like a heavy light cruiser, and this is just a little bit too much, probably. That drops by. Okay, what about I mean, I'm not going to go this low, but I'm just trying to see the scaling trend here. So 16.4, 17.8, and the next one is 19.1, and then we get to 20.4. I think we'll go with 9-inch guns, which we're still going to decimate. This thing is mainly meant to sink one other, like our other armored cruisers, maybe. But we do need the 30-second knot. We need this thing to be a little bit faster. And what I can do is reduce all these tubes. Okay, I guess one at a time. It doesn't need to have that many torpedoes. We could go to 16 on quads. Okay, I think I'm going to do that. When else do you get to use quadruple turrets? Can we use quadruple turrets on this thing? And then maybe get rid of the chase gun? Okay, the whole point of this is, by the way, to get this ship lighter, not heavier. Let's take a look at 6-inch guns real fast, just to see what their penetration profiles are. So at 12,000, they do 3.4, so 3.5 is exactly how much we want. They also, let's say at 15,000, penetrate 1.5, so deck of 2 is perfect. Yeah, so we probably don't need, I don't know, I guess everything I've done here is just about right. Could lower the turret armor by a little. It doesn't really help much. I don't want these to be engaged in fleet fights. We're going to send them kind of to like remote corners. I could even do something like make their range long and their engines reliable. At some cost, obviously. That doesn't matter. Doesn't have enough of an impact. So we'll be shooting 6. It's just so horrible to do it. It allows you to do it in quadruples. It doesn't really make sense, but we could just fire 6-inch guns, which is hell. I mean, as many as our light cruisers have. So why not? Why not do that? I like this configuration. It's the same as our, I guess it'd be one more. It's the same as our battleships, so it kind of has some similarities. Because we're gonna do it this way, so that it's gun, whatever. It looks horrible, but there's technically 6 guns. We'll just ignore the fact that somehow they're in quadruple turrets. Maybe it's one quadruple turret here, which can fire either way. Because I don't think you can fire at, although that wouldn't make sense. We'd have an 8-gun broadside, and we're only going to have a 6-gun broadside. Okay, well, let's just ignore anything like that. Instead of making it lighter, I made it heavier. That was not the intended effect. But this thing will be able to go into places where she isn't normally able to go. Like, she can be a commerce raider in other sea zones. Again, the torpedo defense, getting it from even just 1, it's just a savings of so little, 220. I just can't neglect that. So what the hell can we do to keep it a little bit... I mean, I guess we can reduce the guns. Still, this is, you know, a possibility. Does it look ugly to have 3-3 and then a 4 in the back? It doesn't look that bad. It doesn't... I don't like it, but it's just not even that much of a savings. Yeah, you know what? Screw it. We have the money. This is a weird, weird ship. Very, very strange. Could also reduce the secondary guns to 5-inch guns, which only need to take out destroyers. The 9-inch guns are what will take out light cruisers or more. I don't know. Basically, I'm essentially just going to make... Look at the cost of this thing. $67 million, which is just way, 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 way too much. Okay, let's save it as is. I've made some changes. I don't even know if they were good changes. Let's then create a new light cruiser and see what would happen. Okay, so this would be, let's make it 4 double turrets. Can we put... Okay, we can actually put triple turrets and such. So we probably do the same thing after superimposed. This, I think light cruisers are usually more effective when they have 4 turrets. But let's try to do the same thing. Quadruple mounts are not allowed. Okay, good. So there's some sense of sanity. Yeah, quadruple... I mean, 4 turrets would probably be better. Let's get the same number here. Let's not use... Whoops. I don't care about that. Let's not use any there. Increased elevation. Normal. Mines, we can put 30 on. Sure. 2.5, 2, 3, 2, 2. So that I think this is a huge it's not even that big. Oh yeah, these are turrets no matter what, because they're triple. I mean, anything other than a single gun cannot be a shielded gun mount. So we got this to 32. My god, it's very expensive. So it's 41 million to do what I want to do with 6-inch guns. Gives us a good idea of what we're dealing with here. Yeah, I think that this would definitely be able to kill any light cruiser. It'll be qualified as a light cruiser, but if we want something like an armored... I mean, this is short range, actually. I need to... Yeah, you know what? I actually liked the armored cruiser better than this, like, super light cruiser. We already have a very decent light cruiser. Which one is it? The Portland? It has double turrets, so I probably should have made the turrets 2.5. Shielded gun mount wouldn't matter with double turrets. Or maybe you can still do it with double turrets, but not triple. For sure not triple, but I'm pretty sure you can't do it with double either. So, small mistake. Obviously, another small mistake I already mentioned was the fact that this is not centerline superimposed. It's just super firing in the rear. Slightly more expensive, but that's fine. Still a great ship. Gosh. Okay, well, let's open up one more time. This is all about the New York class, but it won't be the New York class. That won't be the name of it. I still have a few ship names over here, which... debating which one to choose. Anyways, let's take a look at this. Gosh. I mean, I did make it more expensive. What did I do to make it more expensive? Because I increased or decreased the caliber? Because we're going to go with this. We might as well go with 10-inch guns, right? You can just sit here all day and nitpick these things. No, we need the extra speed. That's the main thing. Yes, the main reason why I had to increase this is because long range, reliable, extra speed. This extra speed is just to hopefully prevent it from being gunned down by battlecruisers. Now note, there's some times where you're just in so close in range of the battlecruiser at the start of the fight. There's no way you're going to escape. And the maintenance of this thing, because of the 32 knots, is going to be really intense. Very high. So we can make it, let's do it as is. I think it's pretty nice. Or should I go with... I mean, this is definitely going to kill any light cruiser. But you know what? That's the thing. Our light cruisers are already defeating the enemy light cruisers. What is this thing going to be for? Alright, let's shelve it for now. We'll consider this more. Probably we'll consider it more in the next episode. I need to think more about what to do about it. And we'll just study as she goes. So after all that... After all that... Well, that's a real bummer because we never got to see the democracies fight. Well, we'll take the Northern Marianas. We could start... Nah, whatever. I'll just take this one. I don't want to have to deal with... I'd rather not deal with an extra foreign tonnage. Are we going to go to war with one other person? It's a good question. Oh my goodness! Oh, lordy, help me. Help me, Terrapin Maximus. I have... Okay! The Philippines. The Lightnings. They're all getting scrapped. No, they're gonna go on... The Galvestons. Oh, damn it. These guys are in foreign waters. Who stays? Well, not the battlecruisers. Bummer. I don't want to end the series yet. We can probably force one more war just so I can get out these endgame ships and maybe this armored cruiser. I'm very glad we did not build her now. She would just be scrapped immediately. And we should probably rebuild our Kingfishers, but we'll wait like a year to do that. Cunninghams are 1930. That's going to be obsolete pretty soon. I'm already looking at all the refits, but we can't afford anything right now. We just probably have too many democracies. You know what we're going to have to do is probably split this fleet up a bit. The Tychos can go... We've seen the Tychos. They're wonderful ships. We can probably send 3 to Southeast Asia, 3 to the Caribbean, and then democracies can have 4, let's say, in the East Coast, maybe even just 3, and then we can send 6 of them. Yeah, 6 of them can go on the offensive to Northern Europe. I'm going to try to take a treaty with somebody in Northern Europe just so I have bases there. Invaders come back home. Yeah, we got a lot of cleanup to do. Which is going to be annoying. Do we have any minesweepers? I thought we had minesweepers on the west coast. Oh, we do. Like, a few of them. Let's move a few more. West coast. Put a couple more in the Caribbean. Okay, let's just... Oh, man. No, I can't just do something. Get these guys out of there as well. For the maintenance, I think the light cruisers are better in terms of tonnage for satisfying foreign tonnage requirements. What exactly are they? 21,000, 16. Okay, so actually Northeast Asia is already in pretty good shape. Yeah, that alone will do it. And then, we need 22? 4. So these guys move back to the west coast. Okay, Caribbean's fine, East Coast fine, most of these are fine, fine. Great Lakes. So Galveston go on Mothball. Considering even scrapping the Galveston, they're not my favorite. But they're decent, and I guess Mothball, they don't cost much. Inch guns, 14-inch guns. I'm considering maybe scrapping some of these Philippines and Lightnings. They've served us well, but we're about to have just extremely good fleets. Ships, I mean. 5,037. I don't know. It's hard. The strategic points, the value of these ships is so high that I think the Philippines, I think the Philippines can still fight with the best of them. No, that's not true. 14-inch guns, it's just a weakness. 11-inch belt, 2.5. Yeah, cannot fight from range either. I don't know. I don't know what to do. Okay, well, let's get everyone to reserve fleet who can be brought to reserve fleet. Okay, reserve fleet. Wait, 37 ships, what the hell? Alright, sort by location. I think we have to do this by location, which is annoying, but that's fine. So everyone on the East Coast is reserve fleet. Yes, go to reserve fleet. That's good. Now anybody on the West Coast. I think the ones on the... Oh, they're already there. Reserve fleet. You guys can't. Can't yet. And now let's sort by type again. All the minesweepers. Mothball. These guys are moving, so we can't put them there yet. Down to 14 million. I mean, that did help a lot. Have a few holdouts here. A few more. Okay. And you guys are moving. Okay, good. So we saved our budget quite a lot. You know what? I don't know if there's any more research that can be done. Is there? Just put everything to medium? I do want more for these two. I'm going to leave those on high. Leave those on high. Where's AP? Put these on high as well. And then, yeah, low for naval guns because, what, we already have everything? Well, yeah, we do. It's the only thing that I'm sure cannot be improved at all. And then what is this, what's the cost of our research for now? Jeez, it's only 5 million a turn. But, hey, you know what? That could be dropped. Yeah, we're going to pinch every penny. Next turn. Oh, we made it. Oh, good. We get to choose. Oh, wow. This is fantastic. We can choose who would... What? Who should it be? It's got to be Germany. Did we fight Japan ever? I don't think we did. Should we just stomp Japan for the final... I mean, because that would be easy in the sense that their fleet cannot hide. We have bases... Yeah, let's do it. Let's go after Japan. Poor Japan. Do they have enough fleets for us to fight? Yeah, they have 7 and 10. That's actually pretty good. In fact, that's more than Russia. That's more than France. I mean, they have as many ships as the Germans. Absolutely. So we'll just provoke a fight with Japan, which will be essentially World War II. Well, it won't be World War II itself because it won't be a world war, but it'll be in the same time frame. And that's going to be fun to do, I think. You guys are now here. Let's mothball you. I can unmothball these and the lightnings. But I think... Now, the lightnings have done really well. Let's just do reserve fleet. Let's not be too difficult on our capital ships. But everyone's going to be reserve fleet. Everyone. Everyone, except for the ones who can't. Okay. So these are the lucky few. All the invader classes have arrived, so they will all go to mothball status. They're just strategic points. They can be mothballed. And then every single one of my... Yeah, these guys are already mothballed. Fantastic! We'll have to upgrade them, and then they'll have to send them back to mothball, but that has saved us the budget. We have done it. Especially with the finishing of the last... What was it, the Ohio? The last democracy classes here. Yeah, that's plenty of democracy classes. I think we're going to scrap the Philippines. She's actually... I mean, she's a liability because she's not fast enough to get away. Yeah, we're going to do it. We are going to scrap her. The other thing I could do is just mothball her and then use her as like a defense on the East Coast. because the East Coast is pretty much impervious to attack except for from the British. Nobody's going to want to venture there. We're going to leave our main fleet there. Now, you know what? The Philippines, I'm sorry, it is time to go. We have enough democracy class ships that these just have replaced anything else. Thankfully we're in the situation where we have this gluttony of riches. 16 dreadnoughts and extremely good ones. So yeah, 3 of the Taikos. I mean, hey, if we're going to go to war with the Japanese, it's going to be our democracies which show up and liberate, ironically enough. I mean, not ironically enough, appropriately enough due to their name. They'll show up and liberate everything in the Japanese area. We're counting our chickens before they hatch, but the Japanese only have 2 things anyway. But hey, I mean, it's got to be, let's just look at that almanac one more time. It's got to be the British or the Japanese. Those are the only 2 who can even hold a candle to the number of our ships. Well, the Germans as well, and we did see that they have fairly modern ships. Okay. Well, we'll get them. We're going to get those democracies in. We're going to get the democracies into fight soon, I hope. The next war. We're just going to leave the Taikos in defense and send the democracies out. Same thing with the Terrapin Maximus as soon as she's completed. Try to get her into some kind of an engagement. So let's get this to high as well. They want to buy improved welding. No. We're actually making enough money. I'm going to go to 7% budget. I don't know if it has... Excuse me. I'm so sorry. Does anybody know if there are levels or can look up what the max levels are? I'll put everything to low except for the things that... Yeah, except for the things we actually can gain research in. Oh my gosh, we can set it lower? Okay. Okay, 2% it is. Pretty sure that these are all done. And we can't really take advantage of them anymore anyway. This we could if there was something. Same with this. Yeah, I don't think this is going to have any more benefits for us, so I'll drop that. These could. These all could, and then low. Okay, good. Alright, well, I guess we're going to wrap it up there. We now have saved ourselves a little bit of a budget. The Terrapin Maximus is only 5 months away from the first being delivered. And yeah, so that's going to conclude this episode. In the next one, hopefully we find out who our opponent will be. I'd love to go to war very quickly to get this series closed up. And we may not even finish that war. I just want to fight a few. I'm going to simulate anything which is not the democracies. And hopefully we get to see them in action. And even the Terrapin Maximus. But we'll figure that all out next time. Until then, thanks for watching and take care.